Hello. I have some things to share with you. Some things happened over the weekend. Last week, I posted a video that said something on the 13th would happen, which was on Friday. But most of us wouldn't hear about it until the 14th. And there's been a lot of comments on that video, which I really appreciate. The saying, "Hey, I'm back. Nothing's happened. Hey, it's the 15th. It's the 16th. Nothing's happened." A lot of things happened, you guys. What are you talking about? I'm going to share them with you here in the video. But first, I want to say, when stuff happens, you're not going to hear about it on a worldwide scale, right? I'm talking to the spiritual people. I'm talking to the people who are tapped in a little bit or tapped in a lot, either one, and people who are paying attention to the energy, people who are using their intuition, right? I'm not talking to the muggles, okay? That's not my audience. So use your intuition, tap into stuff, and you have to be open to it. You don't have to go out looking and searching for it, but you definitely have to be open to it, okay? Because if you're open to the information, the universe will go, here you go, and make it come across your path. So, okay, a couple of really big things happened. Remember, in that video, which I'll tag here, I did not say that the White House press secretary was going to make an announcement on the 13th or the 14th or something like that. I specifically said some kind of energy. It's like a bubble pops, right? On the 13th. We're going to hear about, most people will hear about it on the 14th, okay? And that event, whatever happens, which I'll talk about in a second, will lead to a series of events where time has passed, more events happen, more stuff comes out. I'm sure I'll continue to make more videos about those things. And then the White House press secretary is going to make the announcement. Okay. So if you remembered it incorrectly, because, hope, I get it, just go back and watch it again. It is very important to remember that I said, actually, you know what? It's very important to remember that you just have to listen to the words of the video and not try to interpret them, because as you interpret them over time, your brain is going to change the meanings, right? So if you want to figure out what it means, cool, just make sure you always come back to the original wording. My guides are very specific on the wording. Remember the very first thing that I ever channeled, Kamala comes out to play, and then what was she doing? Playing with her freaking grandnieces? Hello. The words are so specific. Okay. So go back and watch that video to listen to the wording. A bunch of things are going to have to happen before we get to that point, okay? And I said that in the video, but the big thing did happen. And the reason why I couldn't see it is because I was looking for one event, because that's what it felt like. I was wrong. It wasn't one event. It was a few different things that happened. And that's why I couldn't see it clearly. And that's how I saw that bubble burst. It was like this membrane that was tight, 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 and then it popped. Okay. So the South Korean president was impeached over declaring martial law. That's huge. That's huge. You guys realize how huge that is? That is a humongous energetic step in the right direction. That means people are not dealing with this crap anymore. We're not putting up with that anymore. That's just the very first public example of people going, absolutely not. You're going to declare martial law because the votes didn't go your way. You're out, buddy, right? One strike, you're out. People are not dealing with that dictatorship style behavior anymore, okay? So amazing, South Korea. I'm loving this for you. Amazing freaking job. Okay, that is a huge energetic step, because once it happens one time, guess what happens? Domino effect. This is how we have civil uprisings in a positive way, not a scary way. This is how we affect change on our planet. Once one person or country, group of people, etc., does something, then the rest of the world goes, oh my God, that's possible. And then people start to mimic that behavior. Guys, that is huge that happened. But two other big things happened too. I made some notes over here. Actually, three big things happened. First, I'm going to talk about Dr. Stephen Greer. He's the extraterrestrial pro, right, that I've mentioned before. If you haven't watched anything on him, go give him a Google, or go look him up on YouTube. Honestly, there's a bunch of stuff on YouTube for him. He released a video the 13th or the 14th. All these things happened on the 13th or the 14th, and from my 13th or 14th. Remember, when I do dates, it's from my dates. I'm on the eastern seaboard of the United States. So if you are on the other side of the international date line, just take that into consideration when I'm channeling dates, okay? So on my 13th or 14th, he released a video, which you can find on YouTube. So type in Dr. Greer and Majestic 12. That's all I'm going to say about it here, because the video may not survive. Go look that up because all that information is huge and it's freaking public now, okay? That's a huge bubble that burst. There's also another video done by Billy Carson and Dr. Greer called The Drone Situation, talking about these New Jersey drones and elsewhere, right? Go watch that one also, okay? So Billy Carson, The Drone Situation, it's with Billy Carson and Dr. Greer. So much information was publicly released over the weekend, but you have to know where to look. Remember, when big crime organizations get taken down, the news media does not report on it because people are busy taking down the crime organizations. You have to look for this news elsewhere, other reputable sources. Dr. Stephen Greer is a very reputable source. Go check out those 2 videos, okay? Then the SEC had a tipping point with Musk. And I know they've been investigating Musk for several years, right? But they eventually, they finally said, I think it was on Friday, the 13th, they finally said, listen, you have to pay this fine for not disclosing this important information before you bought Twitter, or things are going to happen for you. They're like, deadline now. Like, that's huge. I know that doesn't sound huge, but here's the thing. Perspectives are really important because where your energy goes, your energy flows, right? Did I say that right? Wherever you're focused is how you create your reality, right? So if you're over here going, okay, universe, let's make a change. Can we finally have differences? Can people finally not get away with stuff, right? And then the SEC goes, you know what, Musk, you have to pay this giant ass fine, or there's going to be some actual real problems for you. And then people go, ugh, but he never gets in trouble. Okay, well, you just asked for the change. You've been asking for the change. And then now that there's an opportunity for change, you dismiss it and you go, ugh, and then you end up on the freaking timeline in which nothing ever happens because you've decided that that's your reality, right? This is how it works. If you want to know step by step how to choose the reality that you want, how to choose the timeline that you want, it's here for free on this app. On this app, it's right here. On TikTok, it's called the 3D 5D playlist. On Instagram, it's a highlight, 3D, 5D. It's just a highlight, okay, where I tagged all the videos. It's available to you right now. You have it at your fingertips to understand exactly how to do this thing, okay? This is huge. So when the SEC is like, you know what, we're not putting up with this anymore. A big organization like that saying, hey, we're not going to let you drag this out anymore, that's huge because that's not typical behavior, right? That's a huge thing too. So that is 4 big things. The SEC saying, yeah, we're not doing these games anymore. South Korean president no longer in power because he tried to declare martial law because votes didn't go his way. So we're not dealing with that anymore. We're not putting up with that nonsense, right? And then the 2 videos about Dr. Greer, the Majestic 12, that's one he released, and the Billy Carson released one with Dr. Greer about drone situation. It's literally called The Drone Situation. So go look those things up. That's a lot of information. No wonder the spiritualists were really excited. No wonder. Also, quick little caveat. I love you. I'm not responsible if you interpret the information that I share with you, right? So if you're saying to me that I'm making you give up hope because you decided to listen to about 15 seconds of a channeling instead of the whole thing, and I know they're long, but you can't understand if you listen to the whole, unless you listen to the whole thing, right? If you decide to listen to 15 seconds and go, oh, she said something was going to happen and it didn't happen, and then now I'm out because, you know, CBS didn't report on something big happening. You're not trying to allow change, right? You are looking for the answers that you think are there instead of focusing where you actually want your energy to go, right? And you are projecting your, how do I put this? You're projecting your energy onto somebody else instead of taking responsibility for how you interpreted stuff, right? It's really important to keep going back to the original channeling. So if you need to save it with the little flag or something like that so you can come back to it because you're going to go down some rabbit holes and see what information you can find, do that. Be safe with it, right? Or make notes from the original video and be like, okay, this is what she said. So when your brain goes off to la la land trying to figure it out, which is fine, you have an original point to come back to. There are a lot of people who convince themselves that I said things I didn't say in that video. It's still there. It's still up. Okay, go check it. It's very important to take those channelings at face value instead of saying, oh, I have this expectation that something huge on this planet is going to shift. An expectation will ruin a good time every time, you guys, every time. So allow yourself to be excited, but say, listen, universe, I have no expectations. Something big's going to happen. Show me what it is. This is so fun. Pretend like it's a Christmas present, right? You don't know what's in that box. Don't decide ahead of time, so then you're not disappointed. Okay, let me know how you guys feel, what you think. I'm here for you. Love you.